Hi, it's Creative Katie Karen Burchill. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, and Pinterest. Search for Creative Katie, you'll find me. If you wish to support my channel, you can shop through my Amazon influencer links or make a direct donation through my PayPal link. Both can be found in the description box below. Thanks so much for your support. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. If you are, click on the bell, select the option to be notified as soon as I upload new videos. You won't miss any that way. Today we have a quick fire quote journal tutorial. This one's called Push. So in my possibility pack, I had this picture of this girl holding up this rock, which spoke to me of perseverance, which is why I pulled it, as well as I had this quote, and they seem to go together relatively well. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put them together. So while I was sitting with my quickfire quote journal, I auditioned this girl and sentiment on the various backgrounds, and I took pictures of it. I didn't want to be writing notes, so a quick way is to take pictures. And then when you sit down to create, you can just grab your phone, look at your possibilities, and maybe go with one of those if you still like it. So I'm just going to pull the two pages that I think are the two possibilities. So I really like this purple one. There's some purple in the rock, but I'm also liking this one, which seems lighter. And I'm debating between the two, and I'll tell you, it kind of went south a little bit from here. But I chose this lighter one because I thought the other one was too dark. And then by the time I do some alterations, it ended up pretty dark as well. So I grabbed this tiny dots stencil, and instead of just stenciling on purple to add a little more purple to the background, I decided to use modeling paste. And if I was doing this again, I would just stencil on the purple and not do the modeling paste. But I have some new product that I wanted to use, so that's what I was going to do. And a quick fire quote journal or an art journal page is a great place to do experimentation. So I'm just using the light and fluffy modeling paste through this stencil, and I left the picture in place so that I could see where I didn't want any texture, because I know I'm going to glue that picture down right there. So I'm going to clean my stencil and dry this and then come back. So I was talked about the new product. Well, I bought these Liquitex acrylic inks, and they've been sitting here and I haven't taken the time to try them. And I know they're highly pigmented, and people say you dilute them with water. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. Just adding a little bit. This is muted violet to it, adding water and letting it drip into the nooks and crannies. Just turning it this way and that way. I want that diffuse color look. And so I've really actually achieved the goal of adding some purple on there. And I wish I would have left it at this. Lately, I've been really struggling. I end up redoing a lot. My original idea, I don't know if I'm trying to experiment too much or, I'm just not feeling it. But, that's part of the process. And we go through those times where it doesn't always work out. And you just keep pushing through, as this quote says. So I'm liking the look of that, and I decide, I need to add some blue. Somehow there's blue in the rock, and I just wanted to add that. And I don't have that shade in an acrylic ink, so I'm just using. So here I got a little too heavy-handed. It's like a comedy of errors. But I do push through, persist until something happens. So at this point, I've basically recolored the entire page. And you know what? That's okay. I like the big block of white there, especially when that rock is so dark. And I'm just adding a little bit more dry brushing, a little more color on there. So there's lots of interest, lots of texture, lots of pattern in this tiny little background. I almost deleted this page from doing a video because I thought, oh, it's not the greatest, but I figure I owe it to you to show you the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, you might look at this and say, oh, that looks fine. There was a little bit of gold in the rock as well, so I thought I'd add that to the background. This is a Crazy Wave stencil, and I love this stencil. You know that. I've created so many different projects using it. And I'm just using a makeup sponge. So now we have a darker background than what the other option was. And I kind of giggled to myself. And I went, so positioning it, finalizing the look. I'm looking for my gel medium. I use the matte finish because I don't want that shine. And I put it underneath the picture as well as on top. I really like using the matte gel medium on magazine pictures. And I have no problem. I don't varnish this in any other way, shape, or form. And I have no problem with the pages sticking together or anything, but I never had any problem with Mod Podge as well. I just think it's funny that that quote is so relevant in the creation of this page. Persist until something happens. Persist until you like what you see. And, always in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, at any point I can place a coat of gesso and take it back to square one. So I'm just edging with the gold. I have the gold out from doing the stenciling. And then I grab my fine line bottle and I'm just edging the sentiment in gold. Now, because there's gold already on the background, I'm tying it in. And it lightens it a little bit. I think black would have been not a good choice here. And then I just want the rock to stand out, so I'm just shading it using the floating acrylic technique. I just want it to just be a little darker, a little more separation from the background. In hindsight, I should have actually used white and done highlights, and that might have made it really pop. And since I still have this in my art journal, I can go back right now and do that and do some highlighting and see what effect I get. So even when you think you're done with the page, you're not. You can always add. And sometimes things will appear to you after the fact. Please check out the rest of the Quickfire Quote Journal videos. There are some, and I'm going to mark them with a star or something. They're basic videos that apply to any kind of art journaling on the go. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Here's the final picture until I change it again. Bye for now.